All right, so we are just doing a training on full service checkout. And we were just chatting about how you really want to set up the expectation for how people are going to come to you. So what we were talking about, Alyssa, especially as you were saying that, is really you are going to lay out that like expectation of this is how our time is going to go. And one of the things that I like to just share, just as a reminder, is that the sale at the checkout is kind of like a gimme. Like, you're going to get a sale. Like, most likely, most people are going to be ordering to support the host or because they have fallen in love with something. So I like to say, like, the guests are going to buy in spite of you. They're going to book and sign because of you. So it really is like you that they're drawn to. So they're going to fall in love with the jewelry regardless. We've already talked about that. But they're going to want to see you again, meaning they're going to want to get their friends together and have another time to interact and hang out with you because they're drawn to your personality, because they think you're fun, because they just, want to be around you. And they're going to be drawn to maybe pursuing the business, again, because of who you are. So hopefully we're sharing lots of reasons why they might fall in love with Park Lane. But ultimately, someone is going to start because they connect with you. They are going to have that choice. And I've had that happen multiple times, actually, where someone's been exposed to Park Lane through someone else, or even in my other business, they've been exposed to the opportunity and they haven't really thought of it for themselves, or they haven't been drawn to it, or they weren't excited about it. But when they came to my experience or interacted with the opportunity in the setting that was happening that evening, they decided to make that choice to pursue it further. So it's really because of what you bring to the table in that regard. And so I want you guys to realize how important that time after the showing ends. You're doing the try-on session, you're doing, kind of that informing portion that happens all throughout, where we're talking about the benefits of booking and why they might want to have a get-together. And we're talking about the benefits of why they might want to pursue the business opportunity. That's all informing throughout. When you sit down one-on-one with somebody afterwards, that's going to be that personal invitation. It's the time where you're able to look them in the eye, build that rapport, make that connection. And so that is the most critical part of the evening. So as we were talking about, sometimes people do just kind of like group around, or they like gather all in one space and you're a little bit overwhelmed. Or sometimes, have you guys felt like this, where there might be like a line or a group of people and you feel like you have the conversation with one person, but then the next person comes up and you're like, I feel like a robot because I just said all of these questions to this person and now they're hearing me say the same exact things to them. Do you feel like that ever? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit, or kind of hopefully encourage you in how to make that a little bit different for each person. But I really encourage you to have those conversations, to connect, to make eye contact, to be real, to be genuine, to ask the questions that draw people out, because that's building that rapport. It's the start of that relationship that you're going to carry out and carry forward as you're making the follow-ups that Jen was just talking about. So as you're doing the thank you note that you're sending home, or as you're doing the call 2 weeks after when they're receiving their jewelry, if you've already started a conversation the night of, then they're going to be more likely to pick up that phone and answer when you call and be excited to chat with you, rather than, if you just grabbed their order and they ran off and you have no connection with them. So, so this, like I said, I'm going to provide this outline here. It's just a rough outline of some word choices that you can use when you connect. I really encourage you to make it your own, but it's important to figure out, there's about 5 or so questions to ask every single person. The order is not necessarily super critical. But you want to get those in. You want to weave those in somehow throughout the conversation. So just to back up a little bit, I use the time that we were talking about host coaching. I use that time to connect with the host and specifically ask in one of the very last phone conversations that I have with her, or I guess you could do it over text as well. But I just say, during the night of your showing, I'm going to need some kind of space that will be a little bit removed from where everyone's gathering to do my checkout time and just kind of sit one-on-one with each person. Where do you see that best happening in your home? So you're kind of asking her to think ahead of time. And then as you get to her home, you want to kind of check out the surroundings. And so you might say, okay, this place has a really good lighting. So this is where we're going to do the try-on session. And then, I'm going to go ahead and do my checkout at a little area over here at the dining room table or in the kitchen, or I'm going to use this little office nook. Or sometimes I've used a bedroom. You don't want to be like super, super removed, so it's awkward for them to come like check out with you. But I have sat in lots of different places, and sometimes your host can have like a little TV tray for you. Sometimes, she might let you use a little portion of her desk, or I have sat in, we had like a little studio apartment that we were in, and there was no other space, so I did sit on a bed. One time it was just like a little portion of the room that was the bedroom, and then the other half was like kitchen sitting area, and there wasn't anywhere else. So that works. You can do it everywhere. But so you're going to kind of work that out ahead of time with your host, and then before you let everybody kind of disperse and dismiss, you're going to go through a couple of things preparing for that checkout. So you're going to do like your wind down of, I'm sure you guys fell in love with tons of things tonight. The best would be to pick a few things, use our 2 and 4 sale, and then go ahead and take advantage of booking your own showing or private showing with you and your friends, so that you can take advantage of our entire host program that we've gone over. And hopefully you've had a little infomercial on the benefits of the host, whether you're using the flip chart or fold out, I guess is what we call it, or whether you're just using the little host brochure or something visual that they're kind of getting to see all those benefits. But you'll kind of mention that, and then you can just say, tonight I take, however funny way you want to phrase that. I take every form of payment. We accept every major credit card. If you want to split between payments, I know some people say like the husband pay plan or something, where they break up the payments into different methods and kind of make it smaller that way. Or however, but you want to kind of talk about how they're going to pay. And then let them know, I'm going to be setting up my my office over in this space. And I just kind of make a joke, this is my portable office or my virtual office or my, what do I usually say? My, I can't even think of what I call it. But anyway, you could just say this is my office space for the evening. Is going to be in this area. So when you're ready with your order, or if you need to scoot out right away, go ahead and just bring me your... if you're using the wish list, you can use that, or if you're doing carbon copies and you're passing those out, whatever physical piece of paper that you're having them write their orders on, you can mention to them that they can bring that to you and that you'll create a pile. And so whoever gets there first is going to be first in the pile, and then the next people, you'll just put them in line with the pile. And that way you can give me your order, and I use my hands. Give me your order, and you can go back and hang out with friends and socialize. Eat a little bit more, try on, do some more selfies, whatever you want to do. And I'll just call you in individually so that I can have that one-on-one time with you to chat and make sure that I give you, the best service possible, or work out the best deal for you possible. So that's kind of how I set that expectation. And then you still will have those people who give, you're chatting with someone and they're like, just standing there, kind of like listening or whatever. And I'll just say, oh, are you ready with your order? Perfect. And I'll kind of grab their paper. I'm going to go ahead and add you in line. And then I do my hand again. And you can go ahead. You can go over and grab some more food or, hang out or socialize. And usually that will work. Like, you don't want to be rude about it, but you can kind of let them know, like, I'm working with this person right now, and I'll call you up as soon as I'm available. I have 2 people in front of you, or, whatever it is. But you're kind of setting that expectation that I'm going to be chatting with her right now, and I'll get to you in a minute. Does that help a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's kind of how you would kind of create that opportunity. And then what I do is when I finish with this guest here that I'm chatting with, I actually look who's next and find out who's next in my pile. And I say, hey, will you tap so-and-so and just send them and let them know that I'm ready for them. And the between them going and getting that person and the other person coming back, I'm looking at the next order. I'm calculating up, what the 2 and 4 is, or I'm noticing she's got 5 things that she kind of scratched out and decided against. I'm typing in her information. If I'm using my iPad or my computer, I'm typing that in. If you're not, you can just do, kind of prepping it on the order form there. But you can kind of wrap your brain around how you're going to start that conversation with the person, depending on what you're seeing on their order form. So it kind of gives you a little breather in between each person too. So when you're doing the actual checkout, I just really make it personal. And then let me just do a little side note. These are some of the things that you're going to want to have handy with you at the checkout. And some people will lay them out into like 3 piles. And then some people will have, you actually could also have like a little, they have those little like office mail holders that are just like a little upright thing. I didn't have one of them handy here, but that would be something that you could easily throw in your bag and just kind of have it, sorted here in different things. And then it's not like spewed out everywhere. And it's just really, kind of apparent to everyone that you're going to go over these things. And it's just kind of a something that you do that's professional. So basically what you're going to have is you're going to have the host packet. So your host packet is going to be however you want to put that together. But I just put a catalog. I put the host brochure. And then I put a little something in there about the business opportunity. So this would just be a little small thing that you want to make sure to always offer the opportunity to your host. And then I put the absentee little order form in there. Little side note, anything that you put in a host packet, as we were talking about host conversations and host coaching, you want to make sure that you physically have them pull this out, whether you're sitting one-on-one with them or whether you have them pull it out when you're on the phone, and go over it with them. I was in a training early on in my business, and someone said, if you put something in a host packet and you do not talk about it with them, you do not go over it, it's basically like you handing this to them and saying, could you please go throw that in the garbage for me? Mm-hmm. And it's basically, if you added up the value of what that cost, it would almost be like handing them a $5 bill and just saying, could you please go throw that away for me? I mean, it's that ridiculous. So like I have that mental image in my mind now. Every time I pick up the phone to host coach and I make sure I say, hey, can you grab that packet that I gave to you? We're going to go over a couple of things. Because really, when we're saying stuff, it's going over their head. They're not thinking about it. They're not understanding it unless they're following along with us. So that's a little side note, but the host packet, and you can take a minute to go over that with them physically at the checkout. If you don't have a huge line, if you do have a long line of people, you might say, hey, are you going to need to leave right away? I'd love to go over a little bit of this with you, but if you need to scoot out right away, I can go over it or I can call you tomorrow. But if not, then maybe I can just pull you up in a second when I have gone through a few more people. So host packets, you want to make sure to have at least 3 of those at every show because you're going with the expectation that you're going to come away with 3 bookings because that's going to be the best benefit for our host and the best benefit for ongoing business for your calendar. And then I also have fundraiser information. So you want to have a little bit about our fundraiser. You want to have the referral slips. So these are... you can order them on the supply order form, or you could even just make up your own little referral slip if you wanted to. The one thing I don't have here as a visual tonight is there's a little gift certificate visuals that you can use. So if you've gotten a gift certificate at any time, you could just have one of those and have it handy here. I forgot to grab one of those, so sorry I don't have that. And then you want to have host packets. Or excuse me, not host packets, business information packets. And I always want to have 3 of those at every single show as well. because typically you're going to have 2 to 3 people who actually are interested in finding out more about the business at every show if you are asking and inviting. So those are going to be the things that I'm going to have in front of me at my checkout, and I'll go over what's in that. I actually did put it on the sheets here of what's included in my host packet. I keep saying that, my business opportunity packet. And we'll go over that. But I want you, Jackie, if you'll just role play with me and just, you can just basically, to most every question I ask, just say no tonight. Okay. And so it'll be really simple and easy, and you won't hurt my feelings, I promise. But we'll just kind of role play how this would go. And I'm just going to use my script so you know that I'm not like making stuff up, and you can just kind of go through it this way. So I just start with saying, hey, did you enjoy yourself tonight?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can say yes to that. I said most everything. Hopefully you had fun. So what was the best part of the evening for you?
Oh, just getting to try everything on and see it all in person. I looked through the catalog, but when you get to just hands-on.
Totally. So much better, right? Just things just look totally different when you see it in person. Absolutely. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you had fun tonight. I just wanted to go over a couple of things with you, and I'm just curious, is there anything, I know we chatted a little bit about different parts of the business and some of the things that I enjoy about what I do, but is there any part of you that's a little bit curious about the business opportunity of Park Lane?
No, not at this time.
Okay. No. I appreciate your honesty. I really do. So the other thing is, do you know of anyone who might be interested in doing something like this, a relative or someone else that you know who might need to get out of the home a little bit, or just comes to mind that might be fantastic at doing something like this?
No, I'd have to think about it, but I don't, not offhand.
Okay.
I don't know.
So just so you know, we do have an amazing referral program. So how it works is if you send anyone to me who decides to start the business, you actually would get $50 in free jewelry for yourself for each person that you do pass my direction. So if you just keep that in mind, just as you go through life, if there's anybody, even as you go through your day tomorrow, if you think of anybody, just feel free to reach out. I can even send you home with one of these referral forms if you'd like.
Sure.
And that way you can just fill it out and just contact me if you'd like me to reach out to them.
Okay.
So, awesome. So the other thing is, was there anything that you're not getting tonight that you still have your eye on? Like, was there anything on your list that you were debating on or thinking about?
There was a few.
Okay. Anything in particular?
The Montana necklace.
The Montana necklace.
Yes.
Okay, that one is beautiful. So just to remind you, when you get a few girlfriends together, you actually are able to get free jewelry, and I could almost guarantee with just a small group of friends that we got together that I could get that Montana necklace for you for free, just by having your own girls' night. Would you be interested in just having some friends together, either for like a happy hour show, or maybe just even at like a brunch on a Saturday morning?
I don't know. It sounds like a pretty sweet deal, but I don't know. I don't have any time. I don't know when I could commit.
Okay. So she actually didn't say no. She gave me an objection, which means she's thinking about it. So I could go into a whole other training right here, but we'll let her say no.
No.
So, all right. Well, if you think about it, just let me know down the line. And we can talk more about what would be the perfect setting for you to have a girls' night. We do all different showings. We could do, kind of more of a private, smaller event, or even just a one-on-one. I have new jewelry that comes in all the time, so just let me know. Awesome. So the other question I had was, do you know anybody who's getting married in the next year or two?
No.
Okay. So just so you know, we do have, I work with a lot of brides. It's a fantastic way for them to be able to get gifts for their bridesmaids. And then often the bride will get free jewelry for her wedding or for her honeymoon. And so just keep that in mind as well. I would love to, be able to partner with them and shower them with lots of benefits. The other thing that I don't think I mentioned tonight is we do fundraising. So I don't know, is there any charity that's close to your heart or organization that you like to benefit or work with?
No.
Okay.
Not that I could think of.
Okay. Well, we do, like I said, offer the 50% fundraising, so you can just keep that in mind. And then just another helpful thing is, do you have any occasions that you might need a little gift for? We offer gift certificates in any dollar amount. So sometimes people like to keep those on hand, even like a $15, $20 gift certificate just for a last minute gift for someone. Or, sometimes there's those hard to shop for people in your life that it might just be good to have something like that for a birthday coming up. Anybody you can think of that way? Because we could add that onto your order tonight.
No, not tonight. I'm good.
Okay.
For now, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, again, just let me know. You can always just give me a call if you think that would be beneficial.
Okay.
So, awesome. So what are we getting tonight? What are we ordering?
So I tried to do the 2 for $4.
Okay.
So I did the whisper necklace, or whisper earrings and the crepe earrings. And then I'm going to do the halo bracelet as my half off.
Fantastic. So I'm so glad you're taking advantage of the 2 and 4 because that is the best way to take advantage of great pricing and get a better deal. So. Yes. Oh yeah. We all love bargains, don't we? So perfect. So we'll go ahead and total that up here for you. Just so you know, you are entitled to up to 3 additional items at half price. So I just hate to leave like a bargain on the table. Is there anything else that I see you were kind of looking at the Trident here? Did you want to add that one on? It would only be $22. I'm making up that price, so don't quote me on that.
It's close.
Okay.
No, I really can't. No.
Okay. No worries. We'll go ahead and get this totaled up for you. And then I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you.
I am actually offering everybody who comes to my shows an opportunity to be a part of my VIP group. Are you on Facebook?
I am.
Okay. Yeah. So I have I don't have my business card with me, but it would hand me the business card. Here's my card. And so you can look up Julie T's VIPs on Facebook. And when you join that, I actually do flash sales on there periodically.
Okay.
I do share tips and tricks about, just fashion and upcoming trends. And then typically at least once a week I do a giveaway. So it's really fun to have you post selfies and just things like that just to kind of interact. So be sure and hop on there. And just for joining the group, you actually will get an entry into the drawing for this week.
Oh, okay.
So
Awesome.
good luck.
Thank you.
Anything else I can help you with?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Well, thank you. And thank you for being my, role play person tonight as well. But just stepping out of that role play, did you guys observe the fact that I asked her a bazillion questions? Yeah. Okay. By the time I got to the second or third, didn't you want to even as you were listening, didn't you want to say yes to something? And I didn't even ask one. I totally forgot one. Okay, so I normally ask the question about, do you realize I do Facebook and catalog shows as well? So after she said no to the live girls' night, I would normally go into offering, one of my newest things that I do is the Facebook live shows. And they're so fun, and everybody can look at the catalog ahead of time, or those who are out of the area can just hop on for a quick half an hour, I just come on and do a little showing on Facebook. Would that be of appeal to you, or a lunchtime show or something that's like a little bit different than the regular traditional girls' night? So they're going to have that desire to say yes to something just because it's natural instinct for us want to please and to do something that's helpful. Plus, we have so many different services. Did you guys pick up on that? That there's going to be something that appeals or that fits with each person in a unique way. But if you're only offering one of those things, then the answer is most positively going to be no. Doing this is a full service checkout. So if you're doing this and you get a no, you can count it as a no for our challenge. If you just ask one question, I really am not going to count that as a no. I mean, you're going to be on an honor system. But you're going to hear my voice in your head saying that's not a true no. So I just encourage you to ask the questions, to really, like I said, this is all mapped out. I actually do have sub questions on here. So depending on if she answered yes to anything or she answered in a little bit of an interested way to anything, you can weave in a different question in a different order. So, if she said to the first question, what was fun for the evening, what did you enjoy for the evening? If she said something about, oh my goodness, it sounds really crazy that you can earn 2 trips a year. I am not going to go into, well, I guess I did go into the business opportunity first, but that would be my natural next thing would be like, wow, well, did you know that just doing, 1 or 2 shows a week yourself, you could be traveling with me, and would that be something that you've ever thought of before? So it kind of layer it in that way. If she said something about, oh, well, I just really loved, and you kind of did say this one, getting out of the house for a while, having some adult interaction, something like that, then again, I could go into the business part or I could go into the hosting part, and kind of say, well, hey, let's get your girlfriends together and have another fun night and excuse to get out of the house. If she said something about like, well, I really just love having all the fun and the food and, just kind of being together and getting to, kind of have a little party, then you could go the route of like sharing some of our theme ideas with her. So she might be more of like a fun type of person, and it may not even be necessarily about the jewelry. And so you could go into like naming off, and I have a whole document of fun like theme names. So you could do like senoritas and margaritas. You could do baubles and bubbles, brownies and bling. You could do bagels and bling, Java and jewels. I mean, there's tons of things like that. You could do like a brunch, or you could do a happy hour, or you could do an office party. You can just name it whatever, and it doesn't have to look any different than any other show, but it has like a fun theme, and there's a little banner for Facebook that I have that you could use for the invitation, and just kind of go that route to create excitement and fun for her inviting her friends. So you just want to kind of take cues from what they're interested in, and then just lead that conversation comfortably through all of the questions, but it doesn't have to be each one exactly the same. I've also put on here just different ways to word it. So we talked about like not being a robot with each person. So with the business opportunity, you could say, have you ever considered owning your own business? You could ask a question, do you work outside the home currently? And you could say something like, it seems like you really love jewelry, or you were like so great at pairing things tonight or suggesting things for other people. Have you ever thought of doing something like this? You could say, during the ticket interaction time tonight, you had some fantastic questions. I'm curious, is this something that you've ever given some thought or that has perked your interest as we talked a little bit tonight? So you can see like all of those are asking the same thing, but it's not like saying the same words. You could also say like for the wish list part, what are some things on your wish list? Or you could ask like, what are some special occasions or events that you have coming up in the near future that you might need jewelry for? Or, could I let you know about a particular piece if it goes on sale? And then you could weave in the fact like, oh my goodness, well, do you remember that you could get that at, for half price tonight even? Or you could weave in the fact that if it's one of the thank you items, oh my goodness, well that one, if we just get a handful of girlfriends together, I could gift that to you for just $19. How would that be for you? So just, it gives you, as you're having them interact with you, it gives you lots of opportunities to dig a little deeper and to be able to find out what service we have that's going to be a good fit for them, but also kind of how to make sure to reiterate a lot of these things. One last thing I'll say is that as you're sprinkling, hopefully tips or reasons why people might want to host or why they might want to check out the business opportunity, you'll want to do that like 5 to 7 times. Actually, take that back. 7 to 8 times throughout the night on each of those. So 5 to 7, we'll say it that way, 5 to 7 times that you're talking about why someone might want to have some friends together to have a private show of their own, and 5 to 7 times in the time frame of why they might want to look into the business opportunity. Okay, so there's lots of ways that you can do that. Anybody have ideas of ways that you could do that? Are you not talking because the video's going?
I would just say, because like, everyone's wish list is long. Like,
Yeah.
let's say, somebody's like, oh my gosh, I love everything. I said, well, just have some girls together and you can get, up to $400 in free jewelry.
Yes.
So I just think, like, if you know what they have on their wish list, or if something's like, they're looking at the signature bracelet or something crazy, you can, high value, you just kind of gear them towards, hey, just have some girls together, or a Facebook party, like, like Brittany's Facebook party was like outrageous, and she got a lot of credit. So it's like, having
Absolutely.
other relatable,
Mm-hmm.
to give them information to kind of help them make a decision.
Absolutely. Anybody else have another way that you talk about it? With the business opportunity, I try to earmark specific pieces of jewelry. So maybe you've earned one of the like trip pieces, like they did the Punta Cana, came out right before or as we were able to earn Punta Cana. The Cayman is a piece that was named after a destination. A lot of ours are like destination names. So you could just weave in as you touch one of those throughout the evening and say, oh, by the way, this one is named the Paradise. And they named that because we have a chance to earn 2 trips every single year. And, and they always name a piece of jewelry after it. Or, isn't that crazy that like you can actually get paid to do this, earn free jewelry and travel as well. And just, you don't have to say anything more, like you just sprinkle that in and then just move on to whatever else you're talking about next.
I think you could even do that with like some of the pieces that are named after people that have designed them more recently, because that could be something that would draw somebody in just for the opportunity to be able to,
Design
do
a
that
piece of
again.
jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. So there's lots of ways that you can do that. Anytime, Alyssa kind of mentioned this, but anytime you touch a high dollar item, so your vanilla necklace that you're wearing is, $152, I think, or something. It's one of the more expensive pieces in the line. You want to just tie that to the fact that, oh my goodness, I just earned this for free in my first, by turning in my first month's worth of shows. We always have a chance to earn free jewelry, all the time just by doing our job.